While koalas are very special, including one I told you about, there's a very important bonus feature. This, while I may have shared the story about a koala earlier, there's another one. It all happened one point here, a long time ago when I heard the news, until one day I found this in the Coronado Public Library. The story about Tippy and Jellybean. It all began deep in the forests of Australia. Tippy and Jellybean are koalas. And Tippy's very best friend is this tree dragon, a kind of lizard. And little noisy neighbor, the sulfur-crested cockatoos. They can be cuckoo at times. They have many good neighbors. Carpet pythons, the echidnas, the possums, the bats, the wombats, and the kangaroos. They lived peacefully a long time. Till one day there was trouble. All the koalas are in trouble. Well, in this part of the forest, the wind was hot and smoky, and they sniffed the air, and everyone evacuated. But Tippy was in trouble. They climbed to the top trees. It was just when a bushfire appeared. The koala's habitat and all the residents live here are in trouble. But brave Mama Tippy went to get Jellybean. She climbed and rescued baby in the nick of time, and that's when the flame caused a huge mess up. When the flames have passed, their paws are sore, but their nose works fine. Until some professionals, during the battle, came to the rescue. They rounded them up and carried them by plane here, the vets and the authorities. Waiting in the hospital, Nurse Evelyn and the rest of the crew gave him good eucalyptus sleeves, vitamins, water, and even eucalyptus smoothies. Ugh. They heard everything about what happened, but they're doing good checkups to make sure they're good and healthy. Good rest and recovery took a while, but they sure make a good team together. They were brought to the sanctuary to recover. Everyone was all right, but the forest was in a mess up. It took exactly 8 months before the forest was restored and regenerated so quickly. And sure enough, everything was restored and fresh and good and green again. And Tippy, Jellybean, and all the animals were released back here just to see how good their home is restored. They're well enough to look after themselves. However, Cammy came to see them. It's time to get on with it, you two, she said. And even though she sounds a little practical, she knew she was going to miss them, but she'll come over to see them every time. Tippy, Jellybean, touch each other's noses, since they were home at last. 6 months later, everything looked good and green from the tips and top up to the trees and all the way down. There's Jellybean now. Look at him. He's not so little now, and he enjoyed leaves all on his own. He's a brave koala, just like his mother. because she observed the courage inside her. In fact, from this part, from the east part of Gippsland, this was how it happened. And according to this story, and thanks to the Victoria Zoo that came to help, everything brought goodwill in the Australian forest. In fact, like the other one I told earlier, those stories really happened, just like with kangaroo here. Everybody needs a helping hand, but for a koala, I give a 2 thumbs up. See you next time.